I am Victor Martins. I'm part of this super cool collective called Hello Boyfriend, and we're doing a talk about collaboration today. Thank you for coming. So I'll just begin by introducing myself, and then everyone else is going to introduce themselves too. My name is Victor. I'm a cartoonist. I'm originally from Brazil. I went to school in Canada, which is how come I live here. I make comics. I have a little strip with Broken Pencil. I'm currently working on my first full-length graphic novel with Cow. It's a sci-fi romance story about like a small alien that lives inside a large robot. And yeah, I love collaborating with people. Next slide.
That's me. My name is Jada Armstrong. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a non-binary cartoonist from, I guess, Almont, Ontario, the small town of Almont, Ontario. I like biking. And I have a graphic novel coming. I usually have like a bunch of cute things that you list, but I did not write anything on my slide like everyone else did, so I have to just kind of make it up. But I have a middle grade contemporary graphic novel coming out April 2022 called Scout is Not a Band Kid, and it's published by it's going to be published by Random House Graphics. That's me.
Hello, I'm Keelan. I live in Toronto. I'm a cartoonist and illustrator. I like green olives with the pit in. I bought a print today. I am getting a message from someone who is watching this panel currently. Shout out to Annabelle. I am currently working on my debut graphic novel, which is a standalone graphic novel with a short box. Is my microphone on? Yes. Okay, good. And which is working title Louisa and the Beast. And anyway, next slide.
All right. Hey, my name is Christine Wong, she, her. I am a Asian Canadian cartoonist that grew up in the GTA. I've been making autobio comics for about 6 years now, travel comics, diary comics, a little foray into educational comics a little bit. And I really like working in black and white or grayscale, like monocolor. And currently I'm making funny, I hope, diary comics about my life in Japan as an English teacher, where I've been working here for about 3 or going on 4 years now. Yep, I like birds and mussels and anime. The end. Thank you. Oh, also, I'm boyfriend number 2.
So I knew I wanted to do a talk for my residency with the Canada Comics Open Library with Hello Boyfriend. And I was thinking about topics and I was like, well, let's talk about collaboration comics. And you ask, Victor, why did you want to talk about collaboration in comics? And the reason that I came up with is because comics are actually a collaborative medium, right? Like, if you think about it, historically speaking, like you're making a comic, there's someone looking over at your work, giving you suggestions about it. There's someone printing your comic. There's someone distributing your comic. There's someone like marketing your comic. It's not just you. And I also think that us members of Hello Boyfriend have had several different experiences with the collaborative aspect of comics. If anyone would like to pipe in about that.
Yeah. For example, with Scout is Not a Band Kid, even though I was, I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know which verb tense to use. I wrote it and I drew it past tense. But there is a, like working with Random House meant I worked with an editor, I worked with a designer, Patrick Crotty, who's very good. Like, what's interesting about the designer too is like, I I like drew my cover, but like Patrick was the one who like actually sent me sketches. Like Patrick Crotty basically did fan art of my book for my cover, and then I just got to like draw it. And in addition to that, there's also like a copy editing team that I worked with. I worked with 2 flatters. I worked with a special guest artist. Yeah, so even in like a standalone graphic novel, there's a big team involved with big publishing, big Penguin.
And then Keelan, you've also had some experience, right?
Yes, a little bit, Victor. Thank you so much for asking. Working with small press, super small, like Shortbox is just one person, right? So like Zenob's like doing all the, well, like she's gonna be doing like all like the promo and all the stuff, and like we're talking over like our calls and like sending back emails back and forth, and it's a very like, you know, like I write a draft and she's like, this is bad, this is why. I'm like, okay, great. But then like on top of that, I'm also like having like other members of Hello Boyfriend look over it before I'm sending it away to her. You know, so that's like also super important. I like Jade, you were doing that as well. Should I not talk about this now?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay, great. Yes. So it's like it's very small, of course, but it is still like there's no way to not collaborate in the process. It's like extremely like there's no way to do it without it. You have to do it, which is a good thing. Anyway.
And Christine, do you have any thoughts on comics as a collaborative medium?
Comics as a collaborative medium. Yes, I do have a thought about this. So something that I think might not be super well known to Western audiences is that oftentimes in comics, there is the assistant job. So you'll have one main artist who does like the main characters and the story and like the drawings, but the assistants are the people that do like the background art or crowd scenes or coloring in the blacks or speed tones, stuff like that. So there's often with manga, I guess, you have the one main artist with a team of assistants that's actually helping them. But you still only see, of course, the main artist's name on the cover, like Akiko Higashimura, like she's the famous one. I don't know the names of any of her assistants. But oftentimes the assistants themselves want to become like professional, so they will use this job as experience and learning and growing and getting feedback from the main artist, and then they go off and do their own thing. So yeah, I think comics all over the world are super, super collaborative. Do you know anything about assistant work, Victor Martins?
Actually, I'm currently working as an assistant for like a middle grade graphic novel, and it was really funny because this person was like, Victor, I want you to hire you, and I want you to be my assistant. And then we went to talk to the like big publishing team, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, are you the inker? And I was like, I guess I'm the inker. I can ink if you want me to ink. So I signed the contract, and then I'm talking to the artist, like the big name artist, and they're like, no, you're my assistant. Like, here, draw these backgrounds, draw these crowds, and it's great. Like, it's really, really cool. And it is like, I think I understand how it's a good stepping stone to becoming like a full-fledged cartoonist on your own, because you get to see someone else's process, right? So my point is, comics as a collaborative medium, historically, if you're doing comics for money, if you're like, I'm a professional making comics, there's a whole team of people, right? Which is different if you're just like out here trying to be an indie comics person. If you're making comics, if you're like, I have something to say that I want to say by myself, like my work is not super commercial, I just want to be an independent artist, then it's just you. Like, you're your own editor, your own publisher, your own printer, sometimes your own distributor, your own letterer, you're like your whole marketing team, you're your own like accounting department. You're the person having to like be like, I spent $5 on this, so I have to sell it for like $6, I guess. It's hard, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, not to mention all of the other costs of like booking like hotel rooms and also like convention tables and yeah, just like printing and stuff. That goes into accounting. That's definitely worth mentioning because like a huge part. It's a huge part of it.
It's expensive, yeah.
And it's
And
like,
that's like
making that money back is just, it's like impossible. You're going to lose shows, like lose money at shows, especially when you're first starting out. Right? Sorry, anyway, go on.
No, you're good.
so good. Yeah, like you have to go to shows. You don't like have to, but like going to shows is like a big part of like being in indie comics and getting a career and stuff like that too. So it's a lot of work. And that's like the kind of like indie comics career aspect, but just like cartooning in general is like it can be at least like a really, really isolating activity because it takes so fucking long to do it. And you can't, a lot of it is like you need to be focusing. And you're just like hunched over your writing and your drawing table. It's a very solitary vocation.
And like if you're doing it by yourself, there's no one at the end. Like you finish hunching over your table, and then there's
Yeah.
no one there to like give you a gold star and be like, good job.
Yeah.
I think it's horrible.
Like, what's the point?
Well
What do you
said.
think, Christine?
I'm thinking about the words cruel and unusual, and I'm thinking about various experiences in my life as an indie cartoonist that would fit under the headings of cruel and unusual. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. So yeah, I do think that a lot of it does kind of suck, but there are a lot of like good things about it too, you know, like us. Hello, boyfriend. I love us. And of course, there's many different styles of like indie cartoonists. Like Jade said, there's a lot of like soloists, right, that are doing it alone. But there are also collectives like us that are just friends and doing it together and like pulling each other up the mountain, screaming, "I'm not gonna let you go! I'm not gonna let you go!" And you're like, "Leave me here! I can't make it."
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Would you like it to keep going? I just cut you off.
Sure. Should I keep going?
If you want.
Sure. So, Hello Boyfriend, we're a collective, but actually secretly, not so secretly, we're kind of based on another collective that we all love and admire. Let's take a look.
Love Hell.
Love Hill.
So
Just a ripoff.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite sad. No, it's not. It's great.
No, it's not bad.
It's quite blatant.
yeah.
That's the word. It's like
Blatant.
Mhm.
yeah. As you
Love
can
Love
see,
Hill. What
the-
is Love Hill, Victor?
so on the top right, there's a little comic that Keelan made, and it says, "What kind of collective do you want to be? What's the ideal way of functioning?" And then everyone in Hello Boyfriend is replying, "Love Hill." Love Hill is amazing. They're incredible. Like, oh my goodness. I need to like find my words because I'm just overcome with emotion.
Mm.
Mhm.
They're just like a loose collective of artists that put out comics, and they're like, okay, we want to do this. We want to do this like indie comics thing. We want to do it for fun. We want to like split all the responsibilities and all the costs, and we want to just like put out some really, really good work that's exactly what we want to see and exactly what we want to make.
Yes. It's also, it really like shows you
Breaking
Like, it
news, guys.
really-
Love Hill is watching us right
yeah, I
now.
know. I know.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so it really going around like conch shows, you're like, oh, stuff, and then you look at Love of Hill stuff, and you're like, wow,
Good
this is
stuff.
so, you can tell it's just like exactly what they want, and like that's like they're like giving you permission. You realize that you have permission to be able to do whatever you want, which is like so eye-opening for I know so many of us. It's like, wow, wait, we can do this whatever Fujo nonsense, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I remember the first Love Love Hill I bought was in 2008 when I was in grade 8, I believe, at Anime North of all places, not even TCAF. And I had bought it from Kim, but it was like Wise Book. And I remember Kim being like, oh, do you want the artist to sign it? I'm like, what? And that's also why I have all my books signed, because I was also like one of the first like indie comics I've ever bought from like a, anyway, yeah, I'm embarrassed. That's
I'm really
good.
embarrassed. How am I supposed to say the things I was going to say now that I know they're actually watching?
Like we have notes,
know,
but
right?
we can't read them anymore.
I can't read from my notes anymore.
I'm thrown.
Can I try? Can I just like try to go for it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
The thing that I admire about Love Love Hill is that they're like the coolest, like they have the most indie cred out of like anyone in indie
Oh
comics
my
right
God,
now.
yeah.
And it makes me so angry. Every day I wake up and I'm like livid that like there's not like a Love Love Hill temple that people aren't like fucking down on their knees worshiping them because they print all their own books. They bind all their own books. They're always doing research. They're always like trying to find new ways to collaborate. Like they're always like, how can we make this more effective? How can we make this better? Like we haven't tried doing this before. What can we do? Like they have their collective website. I went on there and like one of the 3 pages is resources. They're just like, do you want to be like us? Here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. Like they're incredible. That's it. That's it for me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Okay,
You got this, Christine.
I got this. I'm really embarrassed knowing that they're watching right now.
It's okay.
Okay. So
Don't
for
think
me,
about how it's also being recorded.
oh. So for me, I think for me, Love Love Hill was like one of the first. It was like the reason I went to my first TCAF. Actually, there was a One Piece artist, like fan artist that I really liked. That was like, hey guys, I have like a comic in this anthology, and it's going to be at the Toronto Comics Arts Festival. So I went there and hunted it down because I really wanted his comic, and it was in a Love Love Hill anthology about Tamagotchis. And when I got there, I think I was really amazed because here was a group of Asian Canadian women who were doing something, and their style was obviously like really anime influenced, but it wasn't like, 10,000% anime only. It was, I could look at it and be like, hey, this is something that like feels like me, something that I can really relate to, and realize that, hey, maybe people like me can do like this whole comics thing, and be anime influenced and make comics and people like it. Yeah.
Because that was a huge
Yeah.
no-no. Like when they were starting out, like now the manga influence is everywhere. But I remember going up to their table and being like, oh, you're allowed to do this? Like you can like show your weeb a little bit and it's fine and it rules. It was great.
Yeah. I love having permission to show my weeb.
Jade,
And
what do
now
you
look
think?
at you.
Living in Japan.
Exactly, as an English teacher. I'm like I want to talk about like sloth, like Life on the Hill. Yeah, right? Like give me permission to make like autobio comics that are just like omake theater and like 4 koma and using kind of like those like really like manga sensibility of like expressions, but it's like they're all like not always, but like they're all like in Toronto or like in Montreal, and they're like talking about like the indie comic scene and like going to the beguiling and stuff. And it's like so funny. And I think that was like the first time that I saw the kind of style of autobio comic that I have unapologetically ripped off completely 110%. Huge influence to this day. Dare I like what was it called? Doki Lesson 3?
Doki Lesson 3, yeah. We're like, Life on the Hill. What's that comic called again?
Life on the Boyfriends? No, that's not right.
Life on the Boyfriend Hill.
Life on the Boyfriend Hill. Life on the Hey Valley.
Hey Valley, right. I specifically I always think about this, but no, sorry, I just want to bring it up for no reason. But like, there's like a one Life on the Hill comic where it's like they're in like a Quebec show, and it's like, oh, they'll know this character, and then like some Montreal people come around, and they're like, oh, Ken, it's like Tell Mom Manly, and I think about that all the time.
Incredible. So,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah, we really discovered like Love of Hill was out there doing the thing, and it really brought home the importance of doing whatever you want and like how you can lift so many people up through collaboration. And then like they're just a very, very, very obvious, brightly shiny example of that. But as we met more and more people working in indie comics, we found out that like everyone has some sort of peer support system, because like that's how you keep making comics. If you're just in your room by yourself, you're going to quit very fast.
Yeah.
So when we were
True.
deciding to be a collective, it was very, very clear to us that we wanted to be a collective with a big focus on collaboration.
Collaboration.
Because again, like collaboration rules, like having people to split up fixed costs like table costs and printing costs makes things a lot easier. Having people to split responsibilities with makes things a lot easier. Like maybe there's something you really hate doing and then something you really like doing, so someone else does the thing you hate and then you can do the thing you really like. Like watching other people work is amazing because you can just like learn so many things from seeing how other people approach things. Yeah.
And watching other people, watching other people work, it's also really good. Like we do a lot of co-working sessions where we'll be working and we'll be sharing our screens with each other. Because that way I know, oh God, someone's watching me. So I can't just stick around on Twitter the whole time. Like I gotta be drawing, because if I stopped, they're gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? So I find that really helpful, like that sense of responsibility. And also I really like that having, like with Hello Boyfriend specifically, but it's like people whose opinions I trust and are on like a similar wavelength to me. So if I make something and show it to them, they can understand like what I was going for and tell me if it's working or not, which is really nice. As well as getting like emotional support from people that you know actually care about your well-being, and hopefully aren't just being really polite for the sake of being polite, you know? And we also share opportunities with each other. Like if we see job postings or opportunities that we think someone else would be really good for, we can give it to the person whose strengths suit it best. I think those are all, yeah, I really like that kind of stuff.
Back when like festivals were a thing, it was also like so nice to be tabling as like a collective, because you can share the tabling and convention responsibilities. So instead of paying like $100+, I already forget how much tables cost. You can split it 4 ways. It varies. It varies from like $15 to like $400. And you're able to like get up and like move around. You can go like see panels because there's like enough people at the table to like cover you. Take breaks, go get like lunch, go be alone for a while, which is very important.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, hey guys, I'm gonna go take my break, and then it's just like get up and I just like go to where there's like no people and I just like sit there for half an hour.
Oh yeah, I like remember one TCAF, I was like sitting in the stacks of books actually crying. Like
yeah, because it's like in the library.
yeah, those are the days.
At SPX, we just like go to the like we have like it's in the hotel is where the convention is, so you just like go to your hotel room and just like
face down,
break down, like face down into the bed.
This way, we can have like 2 people breaking down at the same time, and there still be 2 people.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. It's not just one person allowed to break down. We have a lot of wiggle room.
A lot of breakdown room.
Also, Jade, it says we are all rivals in the notes here. Would you like to
Yeah, I
elaborate on
skipped that. I almost did fucking skip. I was like, I don't know what I was going for.
Like manga, like in manga rivals, you know.
We're all rivals. You know, we're all influenced and inspired by each other, but also we must compete to be the best boyfriend rival kind of thing.
I want to say something also about conventions with the 4 of us. So we take turns being at the table, and depending like on what combination of us is at the table, we get very different customers, which is very interesting.
Do you want to speak more on that?
I
I've
do
not heard
not
this
want
before.
to speak too much more of it, but
Interesting.
I will say there are certain combinations that get more sales from male customers of a certain type, which is always very interesting.
Yeah, I like doing those kind of different combinations. Remember in Bandcaf 2018, where we like 2 of us tabled a day. We only like tabled 1 day basically, and it was like 2 and 2. And me and Jade, like on the day we had off, it's like so like we went on a bike ride around Stanley Park, just like Like, and then I went to like a sword fighting class, and it was so nice not to have to sell comics. And then me and Jade were like energized for the next day. It was
We were
great.
so into it.
Oh yeah, we're yelling at people. It was so
We were,
fantastic.
yes, we were standing up the whole time. We were making a ruckus.
Yeah, we really
I
were.
think I had a full face makeup on.
Yeah,
So what I'm hearing is collaboration rules.
it does.
Yes.
But the
Yeah,
thing
collaboration
is that also, in addition to that, collaboration like sucks. Like it's really, really bad. Like you have to work with other
It
people, which
can
means
be.
there's like so many other opinions in the room. You can't just do whatever you want. You have to compromise. Like eventually you're
Horrible.
gonna have to compromise. You're gonna be the one person saying yes when everyone else is saying no, and you know you're right, but it doesn't matter. Because you're outvoted. And then of course, eventually a month later, you're gonna be like, oh no, yeah, everyone else is right. And I was wrong. And like you said that you were gonna do the thing, so now like you have to do it,
You have to do it.
which is like good for, I guess, I don't know, your track record or something, but like you have to do it now. Yeah, what do y'all think about that?
You get to do things sometimes, and sometimes you don't like doing things.
No,
and
sometimes you
that's
fuck
hard.
up.
Sometimes you don't do things, which is all the time. More for more people than other people. You know. So you know, you really let people down, and that's horrible. I've never done it. So
You read about it in the book
everything-
once.
Yeah. Did I?
I'm just assuming since you've never ever let anyone down, never missed a deadline.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, yeah, sometimes things don't get published for years, even though it's mostly done. Since 2018, 2019? I don't know when. Anyway, there's finished work that we're sitting on because some people haven't done things, me included, and also maybe other people. I don't want to talk about that. Well, you can guess. Sorry. My point is that sometimes some people are bad workers, and so much so that they're what is our thing called? Are your collective members draw you sleeping? In the... Anyway.
Jade and Christine, do you have anything you'd like to say to that? About how much collaboration sucks, not about drawing people sleeping.
Jade?
So in the run through, I said a bunch of stuff that was really that Keelan then screamed, "Are you making fun of me?" So I'm not going to say any of that anymore.
I think those are some really good points. I think Keelan would
I
understand.
will say the worst thing about collaboration is that I need to take other people have to see me at my worst, which happens when I work. I am literally at my worst when I work a lot, which is not great. And something, I need to get my head out of my ass. Something.
What do you think?
Can you speak more on that?
Yeah, some more.
No, I can't. Actually, that's all I got.
How do you interpret this blue person in this image here?
Well, Christine, if you saw my main Twitter at jellojade.twitter.com, you will have seen that I love it, and I think it's very good because Victor drew me with my tattoos, which makes me feel really nice.
Yeah, where's the frog?
Christine, what do you think?
the frog's in there.
So you know how like in high school or in college, sometimes you have to do group projects and you're kind of put together with these people and you have to make something together, right? And sometimes you have very different ideas from the people in your group. And sometimes it causes, sometimes that causes trouble with people. So our collective, it's like a group project that never ends, you know? So you have to, it's a group project that never ends. So you learn each other's strengths and
Someone write
weaknesses.
that down.
And sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes it's good. And sometimes I get really mad and I think, oh my God, I should just do all of it myself. But I can't do that because it's a group project that never ends and you can't do everything by yourself forever. That's bad. So as we can, in this image with 4 people kind of squabbling or doing their thing, the purple person who is shoving the orange person in the face and trying to scribble over the whole sheet of paper by herself. You know, things sometimes end up like that. It sucks sometimes, but you know, there's
Would you say
pros.
that collaboration is hard, but ultimately worthwhile?
That's exactly how I would put it, Victor. You read the words took them right out of my mouth.
It's the thing you said, right? Like you were talking about how it's a relationship.
Yes, it's a long-term relationship. It's a 4-way marriage. It's a 4-way marriage. Yep. And just like any relationship, you know, you have to take care of it. You have to communicate. You have to consider other people's feelings and take things into account. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. But I think we're in it together, and we know we want to be here, right? So, yeah. Yep. Am I supposed to say something else?
No, you did it. That was great.
Okay.
So we've been talking about like, oh, collaboration this, collaboration that, blah blah blah. But what do we actually do? Like, can we give some specific, tangible examples of things we've collaborated on? Maybe talk a little bit about that. Pyong.
Wow.
Hello Boyfriend collaborative projects.
Yeah, so on the screen right now, we have the pictures of some covers of the books that we've done together. On the right, there are 4 covers, and this is our series Doki Doki High, which is about teen monsters. And this, I think, is a really good example of collaboration because each book uses a very different style of collaboration. Like the very first one, which is the purple one, Doki Doki High, Welcome to Doki Doki High, a great title. For that one, each of us, we designed characters and did a full page illustration. And then another person looked at that illustration and made a 1-page comic about that character. So working off of each other's designs, and we put that together. And then in the second one, Doki Doki High Volume 2, What is this feeling? Also a great title. We used the characters that we made in the first one, and we did like short stories, each using each other's characters and like figuring out how they would interact together. And then in Doki Doki High number 3, Schools in Session, another great title, we did longer stories that were a little bit longer than the ones previously. And one of the stories was even a writer-artist collaboration that Jade worked on, which is something that we haven't really explored that much. So it was fun seeing how that panned out, eh?
Yeah, that was pretty fun. It was like, so it was between me and a former member, Jess. And it was like at this point where you're like, we both signed up like to do this project. We're both like, yeah, we really want to do this. I correct me if I'm remembering it wrong, but I think we both were like gonna do like our own thing. And then we had like a check-in meeting or something. And we were both like, I was like, I'm sick. Like I'm horrible. I just like really, really can't write anything right now. And then Jess is like, I can't draw. I hate drawing. I don't know if this is actually what they said. And then so we're like, that was like the 2 of us, you know, and yeah, it's like so fun getting to draw someone else's script. Just also kind of like let me do my own thing. They're like, here it is. I was like, okay. Yeah, so that was really fun. We should definitely do more in the future.
Also on the left is our autobio book, Hello Boyfriend, Doki Less Than 3. And so it's, you know, it's basically our life on the hill. It's just about how we all met and how the collective was formed and its conception and just like fun little, you know, fun hijinks. And so it's like the first thing that we all worked on together, like, because I was a late addition to the collective. So it was like, that's like our, you know, yes. Yeah, is there more than that? No, yes. Yeah. Life on the Hill. I mean, Doki Lesson 3.
And it's
Um,
easy to get them mixed up.
Life on the Doki Lesson 3. Because yeah, so when you think about Hellboyfriend collaboration, like the very, very obvious example of that is our collaborative projects. Like it's literally all of our names on the cover. You can see everyone's art, you can see what everyone's doing. But we also collaborate all the time in other ways. Like I'm working on my graphic novel. Like Keelan, straight up, I was like, ugh, I'm sick. Keelan, can you please tone this for me? And she did, and it's like the most beautiful chapter in the book because of her work on it. And I like looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, so this is how you make my art look good. Thank you. And literally, like, I'll be working on another chapter, and I'm like looking at how she did the stuff, like how her approach to toning my work was, so that I can like take stuff from that because I want my whole book to look as good as the work she did for me. So it's really cool stuff. Anyone else got any thing like that?
Yes, I do. I have a thing like that. With my book, Scout, who's not a bad kid, I got like Hello Boyfriend feedback on like every single stage. I got everyone to look at my script. I got everyone to look at my thumbs. I got everyone to look at my pencils. Almost everyone to look at my inks. And the feedback that I got from that was just like invaluable. It was so good. I think at one point I have this like vivid memory where I think we were in Keelan's backyard and it was like summer.
I was just about to
And, like,
talk about this. I just remembered that too.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I like remembered it as well. Go on.
And like I don't remember if it was like a comic making club meeting or a Hello Boyfriend meeting or just like a barbecue, but like I think I printed it out. I had like
I
a
think
bunch
you
of
were like,
paper.
yeah, you were like, it wasn't Hello, it was like Comic Club more, and then you're like, I
Okay,
need people
okay.
to go over this. Let's meet at Keelan's backyard.
It was like the weather was like so nice and I just like read out the whole thing. It was excruciating. But I just
Yeah.
like remember.
Did we read it out loud? Did we do
Yeah.
like a script reading? I think we did like a table reading.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did we like pass it along? Is that what we
I still
did?
have my copy. You printed out a copy
Yeah.
for everyone.
Well, didn't
I
yeah,
printed out a copy for
Yeah.
everyone. I don't remember.
Yes.
Hilarious.
And I made a galette,
Funny.
a strawberry rhubarb galette.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was with
So
the
good.
foraged rhubarb, which I was pretty sure was going to kill everyone because it was very woody.
That's right. That's right. From your like neighbor or
No, from the ravine.
from the ravine. That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ravine rhubarb.
Well,
Yeah.
we're all here now. So it worked out.
Well, it could be like
I
red
do
poisoning,
remember-
obviously, in the future.
I do remember the galette being a little woody. actually.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Another fun thing that you can do is just make people read your outlines and drafts, and then but have them on like voice or camera and just like study their reactions, and so you can see their eyes diverting when they're like, "Oh, this is good," and you're like, interesting. Notes, not that people do that. Just no, they don't. I'm sorry. That's just
I mean, you do
start
that.
being so yeah, and well, I do that, but I just need to. Anyway, let's go. Yes. Sorry. This is you have people. You can have people read your things, as we discussed many times.
Right, because I think I want to say like because we have different strengths, right? In terms of like artistry, in terms of artistry, we have different strengths and stuff. So for me, when I really struggle with backgrounds a lot of the time. So often I go to professional background painter, extraordinaire Jade, and I'm like, help me, please help me. And they'll tell me just, add more lines around the window. And I'm like, damn, the secret was more lines the whole time, like things like that. So it's really nice having people to rely on for different things. Yeah.
This is completely off topic. I'm so sorry. But I was going through our Tumblr and I found these like sick ass promo shots of the first Doki, like really high effort. Like I stole my roommate's life-size plastic skeleton to take these, and I just wanted to show them to everyone. And now we are back on track. Anyway, there's also the most invisible of all the collaborations, which is the regular collective Upkeep work. It's all the spreadsheets and all the notes and all the calendars and all the like, let's talk to each other, make sure we're on the same page. Let's make sure that like all the documents are up to date. Let's make sure everyone's on the same, like everyone knows what's going on and everyone can access any info that they may need. Like, let's make sure that if someone emails us being like, emails the Hello Boyfriend email being like, we need author bios and photos of everyone, the person replying to that email can just go into a folder and like get everyone's things. It doesn't have to hound anyone. Yeah. Any thoughts on that, everyone?
Oh, yeah, we have so much stuff. Look at this. You think look at all those blurred out things. Those are all real things. Each of those blurred out
Confidential
things is a real
information.
thing, you know? There's a lot of this kind of stuff. And so you see our books and you're like, oh look, they have some books. That's nice. But we have all this. The books are just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the work that we're doing. And each of us, we have our like roles and things that we got to be doing at our regular, previously bi-weekly meetings that we would have. So Victor, for example, Victor does like all the emails and fielding opportunities and keeping our Notion up to date. And it's just like, I was like, I don't want to do emails, you know? So to have one dedicated person that's like, yeah, I'll do them because I'm okay with doing them. It's pretty nice. What is that face? Did I say something? Okay.
No, sorry. Me and Jade are being disruptive. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Why did
Don't scare me
anyone
like
see that? Did anyone see that? Please
What?
tell me someone.
No,
Never mind.
no, Jade.
This is what the meetings are like.
Stop
This is
interrupting the
what Hello
panel. Stop.
Boyfriend meetings are like. We actually had to have a meeting where we actually had to have a boyfriend meeting where we're like, you guys, Keelan and Jay literally need to stop fucking around all the time so we can get some content work done.
We actually
This was really, we're just demonstrating a Hello Boyfriend meeting.
we had to have a like a real talk where I was like, guys, I can't be the mom. Like someone else needs to be the mom. And it's not gonna be me.
Yeah. It was
So
really
Keelan is now the official
sour. Sorry.
official like let's focus person. Thank you, Keelan.
I'm so sorry.
All right, Christine, please go ahead.
Thanks, Mom. No, I think I was finished. I think I was finished saying what I was saying.
So Christina's like, I guess we're talking about everyone's roles, right?
Yeah, like what we do, the invisibly.
Uh, so Christine's great at like printing and shipping, keeping the spreadsheets up to date, researching conventions, and being like, we could apply to this, we could apply to this. She's also the one like reminding people of deadlines and being like, oh, by the way, there's a meeting tomorrow. Don't sleep through it. What does Jade do, Keelan?
Jade loves spreadsheets and no one else likes spreadsheets, and Jade does the payouts. I'm very from our itch and stuff, which is very helpful and very time consuming, and we're very happy to have it. Spreadsheets updated, so good.
Thanks. I definitely do it very often, and I'm very on top of it monthly, getting everyone what they need every month. This is definitely a thing that I do. Keelan is an absolute loving angel who would never do anything to hurt me personally, Jade Armstrong. And she does social media, which is great because I think no one else likes doing social media like literally at all. Like we had like this whole meeting, we're all like, I don't want to do social media at all.
Thank you, Keelan.
Well, me and Jade are also technically co-moms of our meetings as well.
That's right. Gavel.
Do you want to talk about the responsibility thing where we were like, all right, we have to figure out who's doing what, and we got to
was
make
so
sure
cute.
it's like equal, like, you know. So we made a list.
We
of the
signed
duties,
points.
right? And then we were like, how difficult is this task? And then how much do each of us not want to do it? And we used that to determine how the point value of each of the tasks. And then we're like, all right, so then everyone has to have about, let's say 20 points. So we would pick the things we wanted to do around that. And that was a time because I kept wanting more and more points. You know, I was like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. And I could do that. And they're like, Christine, you have like 50 points. You need to stop. So I had to, you know, put things back on the shelf.
And now look at us.
And now look at us.
We're doing so
Oh,
good. We have so many aspirations, so many things we want to do next. What kind of things do we want to do next? Like I really want to do like explore different ways to collaborate because it's cool. It's fun. It's literally like you start making comics and it's the same thing over and over. It's like, okay, I'm going to do my thumbs, I'm going to do my roughs, I'm going to have to letter eventually. So I want to not do that. Like maybe having one person making a script and then someone else pencils it and then someone inking it, like just like Marvel style, I guess.
God, that would actually be so sick.
Like it'd be cool,
I want to ink someone's pencils.
right?
I also want to ink my pencils. Oh, what a nightmare that would be.
I'd like to finish a comic.
Very aspirational.
I want to do like alternative covers, like more alternative covers. Yes, because it may or may not have sort of happened, maybe secret. And
Scout's
I
not a
just-
band kid. Buy the hardcover version, everyone. I'm saying
Everyone,
this right now.
please buy the hardcover version of my book.
The hardcover
Please pre-order
version.
it. Sorry to
Yes.
plug. I can't believe I didn't put this earlier. Please
Pre-orders are
pre-order my
so
book.
important. Please
Yes.
pre-order it.
Hardcover
Please pre-order
specifically.
hardcore. I almost said hardcore. No, I did say
Hardcore
hardcore.
specifically.
Okay, please pre-order hardcore #1. I've had a few questions. Hardcore #2 is the library version, and I
you
don't know
saying
why you
hardcore?
can. I'm making a joke, Christine Wong. This is my
Funny.
bit.
Good. Sorry.
That's true. I've never made. We don't do bits here. We don't do jokes at Hello
No.
Boyfriend. What was I
We're very
thinking?
serious.
We're very serious. So my apologies for that. But hardcore #2 is library binding. So that's why it's like I think like $120, whatever it is.
Christine, do you want to collaborate in any new and exciting way? Is there anything you want to do with Hello Boyfriend that you're excited about?
Yeah, I would like us to make mature comics, wink wink, under the side label Greetings Lovers.
Fuck,
hate that.
yes. Oh my god, I'm writing this down.
Ooh,
I just thought of that now and I thought, yeah, that's
You
really
just thought of that right now.
Yeah.
On the spot, everyone.
Yeah, you know, the 18 plus branch of Hello Boyfriend.
Holy moly,
Greetings,
that's
lovers.
incredible.
goodness. Yeah, oh no. Let's do it.
I would like that once we finish the whatever we have on our plate right now.
The upcoming projects.
These things.
The things that we got to get out of the way before we start working on Greetings Lovers. Let's talk about
God,
them a
I'm
little
so-
bit, shall we?
I'm so funny, guys. Like,
Christine's
Oh
so
my God.
funny.
oh my god.
So, ba-da-ba-da.
Doki Forever, a continued monster teen goodness, a mysterious school fire, longest Doki yet, page count, many. This is Doki 4, and it's taking forever because some of us aren't done our comics yet. As you can see in the middle, there's a rough of a Victor page, and as you can see in the middle right, there is a thumbnail of a page that I've done of the thumbnail. Very exciting stuff. New comics. Is this the end of Doki High? I always have to check if my microphone's on.
It is.
Okay, yeah. Yep. It's gonna be good. Expect
that-
it by TCAF. For sure this
Okay.
time. For real.
We all looked into the distance when you said that.
For realsies this time, guys.
Okay.
Also, well, yeah. Yes.
Ba-da-ba.
Hey, and this is something I'm really excited about. So we're trying something new. We're doing a pinup calendar for 2022. And the theme is going to be Boys Plus. And there's going to be so many different hotties. So each of us, we are doing 3 months each. So you can look at them and tell exactly what each of us is into. That'll be fun. And this calendar is going to be different from your ordinary boring Staples calendar because we're going to have specialized Hello Boyfriend holidays inside. What do I mean by that? You'll have to pre-order and find out. And that the pre-orders for that, it's going to be in fall 2021. It's going to be good. Don't judge my taste in Boys Plus, please. I know who I am. I'm not ashamed.
Bye.
Stardew Valley fanzine. 32 plus pages, black and white interiors. It is a zine featuring comics from Christine Wong and I. All of the comics are in true Love Hill style, self-indulgent. We did it just for ourselves as a treat. Each comic is like a farmer, so you, so self-insert, so me.
Me.
And Christine. X, meaning romance. Romanceable NPC. It's very good. Dare I say it's excellent. Dare I say 5 out of 5 stars. You can see some preview images here. You can see that Christine's doing all these beautiful backgrounds and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Disaster. And pre-orders are opening in the fall because we are on track to meet our deadline.
Yes. We always hit our deadlines. That's not true, but
We
this time we're
always hit-
always hitting our deadline.
Almost,
Also,
sort of.
For realsies this time.
But for real,
I'd like to take a moment to say that, like, Keelan and I are both banned from participating in this scene because this is the like people who have their shit together can make a comic. People who don't can't. So just some Hello Boyfriend trivia from my living room to the hearts of the people.
And I love Stardew Valley. Do you know how heartbroken I am that I can't participate?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Who's your favorite character?
Sebastian.
Oh my God, same girl, same. Good taste. All right, acceptable.
And that was it. That was the talk. If anyone has any questions.
Please, I know we have some questions. So, oh,
That was
hi,
a great
Jordan.
talk, guys.
Wait, come back.
Hey guys. Hey again.
Hey.
Thanks for
Okay.
thanks for the roundtable discussion about Hello Boyfriend. I think we all learned a lot about a little bit of the motives behind Hello Boyfriend and a whole bunch of other fun things. I don't know, that ruled. Anyways, on to the questions and answers. First question is by Daniel G. Wilson. Are you influenced by the work of Clamp? Maybe I'm reading that incorrectly as C-L-A-M-P at all? Are you influenced by the work of Clamp at all?
Oh yes, probably. So Clamp, for people that don't know, they are a group of they're a group of people that make manga together, like famous ones like Cardcaptor Sakura, you've probably heard of, or XXX Holic, Magical Knights Rare. There's a bunch, but they're like a group of friends that work together to make these series. And I would say, like, I personally read a lot of Clamp manga when I was a kid, like a lot of it. And when I found out that they were a group of people, like a group of friends that like met in university and started making comics together, I thought that was like really, really cool. Something I always wanted to do. So that's neat. And obviously our style is different. We don't all work on like a series together in one style, because they have like someone who does the writing and someone that does the art, etc. So we're a bit different style, but yeah, I love that kind of classic shoujo, action shoujo stuff.
Yeah, I did read Cardcaptor Sakura. I didn't end up reading like any like Tsubasa or you know, what's the one with the, you know, Chobits. Sorry, so, yeah. I did read a lot of Sakura, and finding out they were a collective was really, really cool.
When is Clamp from? What era is this from? Early 2000s, early noughts or whatever? Or?
90s?
Like,
I
late
feel like
80s,
they've been
early-
around like
Like,
forever.
they're still working, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Are
But
they?
since the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
late 80s.
Very cool. First
We're
I've
all just
heard-
looking it up now.
Wait.
Yeah,
They were
like,
formed in the mid 1980s.
Yeah.
So, in my head. Cool.
Cardcaptor Sakura ran from 96 to 2000, looks like.
Thanks, Google Sensei.
You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's the one I care about. So that's what we're getting.
Well,
Yeah.
Next question reads, any plans to table again in 2022? And I've got a follow-up question to this.
Never again.
Oh, well, I shouldn't be talking. Yeah. Anyone want to say anything?
I'm in Japan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I would like to if everything goes well, because that's when my book's
Yes.
coming out.
Yeah.
So that's what how's everyone else feeling? We'll talk about it in private for sure.
I do want to say that if things are open and governments don't mess this up real bad, it's looking like VanCaf 2022 is hopefully gonna be a thing. Fingers crossed.
And I think for me, under the wild assumption that everything is safe and normal and good again, there are a couple comic festivals in Japan that I want to exhibit at, like Comitia, which happens, I think, 4 times a year usually. So I would like to do that at some point next year if things are safe and open again.
Yeah, my follow-up question to that is, do you think TCAF 2022 will happen? Roll the dice, really, but
Yeah.
Flip a coin.
I certainly would appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
many of us, as a lot of us will, and it's like, I know you all have talked about the stresses that tabling brings and the absurdity of being surrounded by super large groups of people
Yeah.
and what a stress that is. And
Yeah.
yeah, comic conventions. Wanted to just ask a little bit more about that as well. Like, how do you feel about comic conventions? Do you prefer living in the digital medium and sharing your work through Instagram or just a website, or would you rather see your work published in a physical book, capitalistic endeavors aside?
I like physical. I do like going to shows because I don't like digital shows. It's just like I want to go and look at comics and like have like a time slotted out to do it, like a weekend. And like that's like, not that that's it, but that's like a big portion of like art sales, and like stuff like that. And just like it's a big work weekend and not just like stuff like that's like the whole year we're doing the same kind of buy your books, kind of thing. I like physical personally. How's everyone else feeling?
I
love
personally like conventions. Oh, sorry, maybe you want to go
Go,
first?
please,
no,
Christine.
no, you go.
Okay, I personally enjoy tabling at conventions for the most part. So actually at conventions with Hello Boyfriend, I'm usually the one that's at the table most of the time, while everyone takes their breakdown breaks and stuff. Which is a shame because now I'm the only one that can't be at the table at shows in Canada. So I think that has affected the balance of things. Of it. But yeah, I like conventions. I like being able to see the people that want to read my comics and are enjoying my comics and pick things up. It's nice having that, because digitally, for example, if you make a sale or whatever, it's just a little number that dings up. But in person, for someone to be like, wow, like I really like this, it looks really interesting. That's always like a really good feeling. Yeah, so overall, personally, I like conventions as a positive. Next.
Yeah, anyone else
Okay.
got anything else to add, or should I proceed to the next question?
I
All
just
right,
want to say,
so-
wait, no.
Oh.
I have something. Like, I want to say, like getting to meet people face to face is super nice. And like, I like conventions, but like, conventions don't really like me back, if that makes sense. Like, they're really,
Yes. Oh
like,
my
they're
God,
really
that's
fucking
me.
cool. And there's a lot of like lip service fake accessibility, and then at the end of the day, they're still cramming like 50 people row to row. Like it feels so claustrophobic. Like it's so bright. There's so much sound. You know, like I'm not gonna go pay $400 to go have like a meltdown and not be able to leave my bed for a week. So maybe like I think right now the only way that I can enter business conventions is like I'll be there for 20 minutes. You know, like I'll be there for 20 minutes and then I'm gonna go let down. Like I'll go like walk around the floor, maybe sit there, and if someone buys my book, great. If none, if no, then like I don't get to see any of the people who bought my book, and then I'm gonna go home because that's what I can do. So that's my thing.
I think that speaks a lot for the power of collaboration.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great having people to rely on. It's great to like come back at the end of the day and just see cash money.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Especially after all the work that gets put into making comics and zines and stuff like that. Anyways, is it possible to get the link to the pre-order for Jade's book and a link to buy the rest of your zines? So please plug your guys' selves in the chat. I think that might be the best way to do it. Anyone watching from my screen, I click on the more button and then there's a chat button. I hope all of you can find that, or if anyone wants to dictate their plugs, I guess now is a good time to do so.
Oh my God, typing.
Sure. So I've just sent a link to that question specifically with the different links, but I'm going to put the same thing in the chat. So I
Nice.
just sent something. The first two are for Jade's book. So the first is the official page on the publisher's website that gives the links to all the different pre-orders. But that website, it doesn't include like chapters in Canada. So separately from that, I've put the links to Jade Armstrong's author page on chapters.ca, where you can take a look at the softcover version, the hardcover version, and the library binding version. And under that, I put the link to the Hello Boyfriend Itch, which is our online store where you can buy digital copies of all the zines that you've seen in this presentation and more. Doki 3 was just released online recently, and Doki 1 and 2 are on sale. Because of that, now is a really good time. And also Hello Boyfriend Lesson 3, Autobio Comics, fun stuff.
Oh, we love Christine.
Boom. Just
Power
like
of
that.
Christine Wong, everyone.
Yeah, huge.
I
That
beat
kind
me
of
to
that
it.
kind of brings to a question that I had. What do you consider a professional cartoonist? Because I think Christine just exemplified that.
Like I think there's being a cartoonist who is professional, which yeah, whoa, Christine, whoa. And then there's like, oh, like Rents do, better make some squares and put some more balloons in there. So like when I'm thinking of professional cartoonists, I'm thinking like someone who's got to pay the bills with comics work. But when I'm thinking of a cartoonist that is a paragon of professionalism, I'm thinking of Christine Wong.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
an interesting thing to think about and to talk about when money is involved in things. And I know we've talked about this a little bit, Victor, and like the absurdity of like what is like being successful as a cartoonist in modern day times, and is getting that book deal that makes you a professional, and do you care about that label so much? And
I also really think like being a professional cartoonist isn't really aspirational. Like it's, in my opinion, publishing sucks straight up. Like publishing is not a great industry.
Publishing is so bad.
Like, and publishing, like comics publishing specifically, again, cruel. Like people on, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying, okay. Like people on the whole, especially bigger publishing houses, like it's really hard to find someone who knows what they're talking about. It's really hard to like, because comics they got so big so fast. A lot of the editors are just people who are working in prose and they're now working in comics because they're the editors that the company has. So you're like working with an editor and they're like, so the circles that the words go in, and you're like, tell me more, you know? Like it's a problem. Like I literally was a professional cartoonist for all of like 6 months, by which I mean I had to make comics to pay the bills, and I quit. I was like, I'm gonna go literally be a spreadsheet like office person because this is dumb. Like it's burning out. It's not enough money. Like no one should aspire to this, in my opinion.
Anyone else have anything to add to that? Any other boyfriends? I think that's very well said, and it kind of segues into fanzines, because fanzines I consider to be an active professional cartooning ship, but doesn't pay the bills in any ways. And the question is, if Victor and Keelan had to make their own fanzine, aside from the Stardew fanzine that is currently in production, what series would it be about?
I think Jesus Christ Superstar. Keelan, what do you think?
I think it would be about Jesus Christ Superstar, 1973, starring Carl Anderson.
And it would be amazing. That could be a thing of beauty.
Yep.
Wow. I'm so happy you guys answered that both so quickly.
We know what we want.
I want to read it so badly.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just today I was talking about Jesus Christ Superstar every day. Just today I was talking about it. Love that thing. Anyway, yep.
Who did all the romance in Stardew? Who did all romance in Stardew?
Who did
in
you all
Stardew?
romance in Stardew?
Who did you? Yeah, I can't even say that sentence properly. Who did you all romance in Stardew? Who were
I actually
those
didn't play
hot,
it. That was a lie.
pixelated characters with those
You love
fine thighs that was so attractive? in
Hey, listen,
Stardew?
Jordan, you
All right.
Sorry, I play Minecraft, not Stardew. I've tried.
I think thighs are more of a thing in Minecraft. You can actually like see them a little bit
Yes.
more.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you see the thighs.
They're
And the
too chibi
headshots.
looking, I guess. So, but anyways, to answer the question, who do you all romance in Stardew?
Gabe.
Maru, my number one. Maru's the best. Also Elliot and Sam. Christine?
And I'm 1000% Sebastian all the way, every playthrough, every single playthrough, all the time, or I get really upset at my game and want to quit. So that's all.
I've witnessed this. I can attest.
Yep.
Man, great
and,
question, Buffers.
In the fanzine too, like it's 32 pages, so we each have 16 pages. Jade's got like 4 comics about like 4 of the different NPCs, like about Maru and someone and someone and someone. It's like really nice, and mine is just 16 pages of Sebastian.
So good though. It's like so good. It's like
It's like
the most beautiful Stardew comic you'll literally ever read.
Yeah. So that's who we romanced.
Well, moving on. What is each of your favorite genre of comic? Also, is Victor's hat a party hat or a piece of pizza?
It can be both, I feel. I feel like it is both.
Yeah, why not both?
Or like a little clown, classic clown hat. Genre of comic. I'll think about it.
It's
Christine.
not historical fiction. For me, I don't know. I read a lot of comics. But if you're like Christine, just pick one. Then I really like autobio comics. Like not the super emo kind, but like diary comics kind of thing. I really like that. Like taking a look into people's lives and seeing what goes on in there.
Yeah,
it
me
can be
too.
really fun. Yeah. I like making them and I like reading them.
I agree. I think like part of my favorite parts of like comics online is like definitely like Omake, where they're like the artist is
Yes.
like actually I think there's one in like it's either Loveless or like Dot Hack Twilight Bracelet where it's like the author that's like, oh, okay, well I should be doing work, but I don't really want to. I'm just gonna lay down a bit, and then their phone rings and it's like, hi, it's the editor. What are you doing? It's like, nothing. It's like, are you sure you're like not napping? I've set up a camera in your home or whatever. I think about that a lot, but I don't know what it's from. I think it's from Loveless. Anyway, go on. I like autobio. I also just like if as long as something has good drawings and a good story, I'm happy reading it.
I
But
thought you were
that's
gonna
like-
say Catboys.
No, I don't like that. Stop. I really don't want to read those. I don't like that. As long as it's not Catboy.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I think this is a great question because often comics get subjected as a genre, and like as in the comic
And I just-
library field, it's like a lot of the time when you go to a library, you go to the comics section of the library, but it's not further genreified or whatever. Cataloged is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I like that question. Anyways, the last viewer question we have is by Dirch, and it says, when will the Greetings Lovers book be released? Important.
Never,
Probably
Julie.
put too much importance on that word, but
Well,
It'll never
As
happen,
soon as
Julie.
possible.
we have the projects going on right now, and 2 of them are scheduled to be finished in the fall. And Doki 4 is going to be finished by TCAF time 2022, regardless of if TCAF is happening or not. So it might be the project we take on after that. Possibly, we'll have to discuss this, of course. But I really want to use that title that I came up with on a book soon. So
Yes.
we'll see.
nice. I really hope to see a firefighter month in the calendar that you guys put out, because
Oh no.
it's such a thing from where I came from, where firefighter sponsored calendars, and it's like, this is so
Oh, yeah.
bizarre. I don't know.
Is
if
that
it-
really a
like-
thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah, they had
Sudbury,
that in
like
Larrick
every
County,
year,
too.
the firefighters would put out like oil slicked firefighter
Yeah.
like calendars where they're all just like fucking flexing and shit.
Wow.
I've seen those.
I thought it was like just like a common joke. I just didn't think that it was real.
No, it's a real thing.
Interesting.
It's
It is real.
I'm gonna head over to Almont. Just kidding.
Wait, no, we have. I can't remember what it is exactly. It's like a charity calendar, right? But it's not firefighters. But it's like, sorry for like old people
Yeah.
naked is the calendar. So it will be in areas of like Elmont. So it's like the baker and he's standing there and like just with like the apron on, and like nothing
Yes.
else.
There's a movie about
Or
that.
there's like a farmer and he has
That's
like
dope.
I'm like fucking dead ass serious, you guys. He's like there with like, you know, like in front of his tractor with holding like, I don't know, like a fucking like piece of
Wow.
hay to cover. It's
A piece of
so good.
I love that.
That's
Do you
so
have any
simple.
copies? Does your mom
a
have any old copies?
singular hay.
Wow.
Wow.
very
Oh.
strategically placed singular piece of hay.
Yes.
Here's all I
Yeah.
think.
Photography is high art, all right, guys?
So I'm excited to see that calendar. That little teaser was quite lovely to see. That's great
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you're gonna love it.
I can tell already by those 6 images or so. Here's the plugs, guys. Let's wrap this up.
Oh,
right.
this is
This
all our
is
social
our-
media. Take a screenshot.
Yes, what Keelan said.
Pre-recorded.
My info, so Christine Wong, my website is onecrispy.com, ONECHRISPY.com. And you can find me on social media, like Twitter or Instagram, at onecrispy, same spelling, ONECHRISPY.
Me, Jane Armstrong. My website. Oh my God, talking too much. My website is jelajade.com, JELAJADE.com, and my handle's at jelajade, spelled the same way. And you can also find the link to my pre-order in the comments. Pre-order the hardcover.
Victor Martins, my website is vicomart.com. That's VICOMART.com. And I'm at Cosmonaut Vico on social media. I don't really use it anymore, but you know, I'll be back someday. Yeah.
You can find me at keelin-g.com. My first name is spelled KEELIN, and then it's a dash, and then a G, and then a .com. And my Instagram and Twitter are Keelin_G_. Yep. Thank you so much to the Canada Comics Open Library, and also Victor. Thank you, Victor, for having us.
Thank you, Victor. Thanks for
And
including
sequel.
us in this.
Thanks y'all for doing this, and thanks everyone for coming, and thanks Jordan for
Thank you.
facilitating.
Yeah,
Everyone.
thanks for all of our viewers, and huge thanks to Hello Boyfriend. Another wonderful Zoom call. Hopefully one day in the future it'll be less boxy. But
Meet space.
if not, this works too, because now everyone gets to see it worldwide.
Oh, oh no.
Worldwide.
Hey, no, come on now.
Squirrel wide then.
Squirrel wide.
Mm,
Girlfriend.
Actually.
Gale wide. No, that's sorry. That was a throwback to earlier. Never mind.
Night, everyone. Sweet dreams.
Good night.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a great night and the rest of your summer. I hope that everyone stays like at the temperature that they choose to be in, and everyone check out Hello Boyfriend online and everyone's work, and so long.
See you next time.